Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I really hope you're all doing okay and having a great day and an amazing week. My name is Effie and today we're doing a bit more of a chill video. I thought I would give you guys a bit of an update of where I'm at sort of like mentally, because a couple of times this year I have stopped filming and completely just dropped off the face of YouTube, and I've then done like I'm back videos and I've sort of been giving you guys a bit more information about my life and what I've been going through, and I thought I would just give you a bit of an update as to where I'm at right now. It's November 2023, it's currently like the 25th, 26th, something like that. So I'm going to give you this update and let you know how I'm doing. Obviously there will be talk about mental health in this video. If you're not prepared to listen to that, I completely understand. Please click out of this video, look after yourself, and you can watch one of my other videos another time. I will be doing a full face of makeup while I talk about this because I am awkward and I would rather be doing something with my hands so I don't have to really focus on what I'm talking about too much. But I will be giving you a full update on how I'm doing, and I will be using just some normal makeup, just an everyday makeup look. So if that sounds interesting to you, please do just keep on watching. If you enjoy this video, please give a big thumbs up. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. I put up a video every Saturday. It's not always mental health related, it is always makeup related, but it's not normally this deep. Normally we just test new makeup or test new eyeshadow palette or something like that. But today I thought I'd let you in to the world of me and we chat about it. So if that sounds like your type of thing, you can subscribe. The subscribe button is just down below. Yeah, rambly intro as always, but let's get on with the video. I hope you enjoy. I just went and got some tape because I'm going to use tape to sort of do my eyeshadow. So I'll pop this on my eyes and then we will make a start. I don't think they're even, but we're going to roll with it. I'm going to be using the Beauty Bay Wilderness palette. This isn't going to be a tutorial at all, but yeah, we're going to do sort of like a green look using like these shades here. We'll see how it goes. We're actually going to start with eye primer. It's a Beauty Bay eye base. If I forget to mention anything I'm using in this video, I will leave it listed in the description box like I always do. But let's make a start chatting about how I've been doing. So as I said, as I'm filming this, it's the 26th of November. I'm pretty sure this video is going up on the 9th of December. So I think the first major thing that's changed since I last sort of let you guys know about my mental health is that I have sat my final exam. Big news. So I sat my final exam on November 8th. For those of you that don't know, I am currently training to become an auditor, and in order to do that you need to get an accountancy qualification, which we call the ACA. And I have been training towards this now for 3 years, which is a long time. There are 15 exams in total that you need to sit, and there are rules around how many times you can fail each one and how many resits you can have and things like that. I am very thankful that throughout the 15 exams I have sat, I've only ever had to resit one of them. I failed it by 7 marks and I resat it, and it was maybe the 3rd or 4th exam that I sat, so it was quite a while ago. It was back in 2021 that I failed that exam, so I haven't failed one since, and I got through to my last exam. I think last time we spoke, I don't remember if I've mentioned, but I had 2 exams in like July this year. And I passed both of those pretty comfortably as well. Like you need 50% to pass, and I had over 60 in both of them, so I was really happy about that. And then I sat my final exam, which is a 4-hour long exam. It's a very long exam, and I don't get my results until December 15th. So as I'm filming this, and even as you're watching this, I won't actually know my results yet, but I will find them out on December 15th. I'll probably give you guys an update. It'll probably be in a video next year because I'm trying to pre-film a lot of my content, so hopefully by the time I get my results, all the content for the rest of this year will already be filmed. So I'll mention it next year at some point. But the exam is sat. I think it went relatively well. It's one of those exams where it's really hard to tell whether you've done well or not. Like I said, it's a 4-hour exam. It consists of like predominantly 3 questions. It's one huge report, but it's split into like 3 requirements. And I think it went okay. I overran on time a little bit, so I didn't quite finish my final part as much as I would have wanted to. But hopefully I've done enough to get 50%, which is what you need to pass. Because I think the most annoying part about these last set of exams, so the last 3 are like a set, but the last 3 exams, if you fail them, you have to wait till the next sitting. And they only have sittings in July and November. So I sat in November. If I failed it, I have to wait till July to resit, which means I won't get my results until August. And essentially, I don't know how much I've mentioned this on my channel, but I really don't love my job. And I would really like to leave, and it's a lot easier to leave once you've finished all your exams and you are qualified. So if I failed this exam and I have to wait till July to resit it and wait till August for my results, I probably won't be able to leave my job until like the end of next year. And that would not be good for me, because I have come to the rather annoying realisation that my job is very bad for my mental health. Like, the work itself is fine, but the people I work for, in my opinion, the managers I work for, they're not very... They don't make me feel very good about myself, which I know it's not their job to make me feel good about myself, but I hate working for them because I just feel so underappreciated. I just feel like I could be treated better somewhere else. Like, I've spent 3 years at this company, and for the longest time I thought I was bad at my job because, you know, the managers didn't particularly like me. Turns out I'm not bad at my job. I can do my job. I'm actually relatively okay at my job, to the point where managers from other offices have complimented my work and have been really nice to me. But the managers in my office do not do that, and kind of make me feel terrible about myself all the time. So I can't wait to leave. So realistically, I desperately need to pass this exam so I can leave as soon as possible. So yeah, the hope is that I can pass this exam first time round, and then over Christmas break start looking for new jobs, probably still around the same area, as in like, I still want to live around here where I live. I'm obviously not going to say on the internet where I live, but I still want to live where I live now. Moment of truth. Oh, that's actually quite good. I am copying, technically, a girl from TikTok. I cannot remember her name, but she's absolutely stunning. She's got brown hair. She does like Colour Me Monthlies. She's amazing. But that tape thing, I see her do it all the time. She normally does it with brown eyeshadow, but I actually really like how it looks. I'm not in love with accountancy or finance. If I could do anything in the world, it would be doing YouTube all the time, because I love doing makeup. It's not even like I want the easy life of, you know, working from home all the time, sitting, filming a video and then editing it in bed. Like, yes, that life sounds lovely and I would love to do it, but realistically, there's nothing I've found in life that interests me more than makeup. But I also can't become like a makeup artist because I'm 25, I'll be 26 at the end of this year. I don't really want to retrain in something, and also I don't think I'd be good enough at it. Like, this is a major issue in my life. I just don't think I'm very good at anything. Which is a me problem, but it is what it is. But realistically, I'm not completely sold on the idea of being in finance for my entire life, but it pays the bills. And it pays the bills pretty well, to be honest. Yeah, so I'm not sold on finance. Realistically, if I could do anything, I would do YouTube. And I think that's part of the problem, is that I was putting in so... I've said this before, I was putting in so much work into something that I just don't care about. And I wasn't being treated very nicely while I was doing it. So I'd rather just go somewhere where I can be treated relatively well, you know. have managers that say things like please and thank you, not hate my job, have some friends at work, which I do have now, I have plenty of friends at work, but you know, just live a happier 9 to 5 life and still have the time and energy to spend on YouTube. Because realistically, yes, over the past 3 years I've had 15 exams to do, and that does take up a lot of time and a lot of energy, and it takes up my weekends, and it'll be nice not to have to do that. And even if I were to stay in this job, the exams would be over anyway, but I would also just like to not feel terrible about myself all the time, which I feel like isn't that big of an ask. I feel like that's pretty normal. A lot of people don't want to feel terrible about themselves all the time, so yeah. The next big stress is that I'm going to be moving next year. So for those of you that have been around for a while, I moved into this house in July last year. When I moved in, I was moving in with my partner at the time. I broke up with him around this time last year, actually. And then he moved out at the end of the year. And then it's just been me. I do obviously have my new boyfriend, but he lives somewhere else. He lives with his housemates, who are all lovely. So basically this house is just too much for me by myself. It's too big, it's kind of too expensive. I can afford it, but I would rather have more disposable income. So I think come like March time next year I will be moving out. And then obviously last time we spoke about mental health, I spoke about my nan passing. It's still a very difficult topic for me to talk about. I miss her so much. I have been home and seen my family, my granddad, since. I will be going home for Christmas, which will be very difficult because it will be sort of my first Christmas without my nan, which is very difficult, and I am worried about it, if I'm being completely honest. I think it will be fine, it will just be difficult and kind of sad. But I have started therapy. Now the therapy wasn't really to sort of deal with me losing my nan, it was more to sort of deal with sort of a lot of underlying issues I have with, like, particularly I think the main thing we focus on is like low self-esteem and generally just not treating myself very well and sort of struggling with relationships I have, not just my boyfriend but like my friends and stuff, and sort of for me it's finding a line between being a good friend but also noticing that I matter as well, and my feelings matter and my opinions matter. And in fact the thing we're working on the most in therapy at the moment is the idea that I don't need to always be perfect and always be quiet in order to keep people happy, because my main fear is abandonment and rejection. Fun. So in my mind I'm like, if I always look perfect and if I never say anything out of turn, I will keep people, they won't leave me, which is, you know, not great, but we're working on it. I am doing CBT therapy, which I never thought I would do because I didn't think it would work very well, and honestly it is helping. I don't think it's perfect. Like, I think I came to the realisation that once I've done my CBT and I'm dealing with things a bit better, I will still go and do sort of generic therapy where you sit and talk about your problems. Because the idea of CBT is it helps you deal with the problems in front of you right now. So it's helping me when I get these sort of like negative thoughts of, if I'm not perfect, people won't stay. It helps me to sort of deal with that as and when they arise. However, I think once I'm done with this, because they sort of do it as like a set amount of therapy sessions as like a course, I think once I've done this and I'm dealing with the present a lot better, I will still need to talk to a generic therapist where you sit and talk about your problems to sort of deal with the underlying issues a bit more and where these thoughts have come from, which I don't quite feel ready to discuss on camera. Maybe I will one day, because I understand talking about mental health online is important because so many people struggle with their mental health, and talking about it online can sort of destigmatize it and make people realize that it is a completely normal thing to struggle with. And I do recognise that, and I do want to help other people, but at the same time I do need to consider what is too much for me. So for right now I'm not ready to talk about it in depth, but I probably will eventually because I understand the benefit of it for other people. But yeah, so I am doing therapy. It is helping. I have a lovely therapist. She is so nice and so understanding. She's very good at just validating how I'm feeling. So I'll sort of be like, this is how I'm feeling, this is how I reacted, this is what happened, this is how it all ended, this is how I'm feeling now. And she's very good at sort of saying, like, look, based off everything we've spoken about and everything I know about you, your reaction is completely understandable. The way you handled it maybe wasn't the best, maybe I did handle it well and she'll tell me that I handled it well. But she's like, let's talk about why you felt like that in the first place, let's talk about where this has come from, why it went down, like if I have a discussion with somebody and it goes a certain way, why did that go a certain way? She's very, very good at making me more aware. And I think that's a really important thing to point out from therapy, is that I always thought I was very aware of myself because of this whole, if I'm perfect, other people will like me idea. I feel like that made me very aware because I had to be aware of when I wasn't being perfect and when I was saying things that were out of turn and when I was potentially hurting somebody else's feelings. I became very, very aware. But I think therapy has really, really helped me to be even more aware, which I understand to some people that wouldn't be helpful, but to me it really is, because I'm like, I'm aware of what I'm doing, but now I'm aware of why I'm doing it. And that's really helped. On top of that, and I know this is a difficult topic for some people and I completely understand, but I have also started taking medication. I'm now taking medication for my low mood and anxiety. Like I said, I know that's very difficult. I'm not going to state what medication I'm on because I don't know how that would go down on the internet, but I am on medication. I was somebody for a very, very, very long time who insisted I did not want to be on medication for my mental health because, and it is partially to do with how I was brought up, but like negative mental health was not really a thing that was spoken about in my family. It was very much brushed under the rug, like even to the point where like my mum had really severe mental health issues, but it was never really spoken about. I, to this day, could not tell you what medication she was on for it. Same with my nan. My nan had quite bad mental health issues. I knew she was on antidepressants, but again, couldn't tell you what she was on. So I was always very adamant that I did not want to be on medication because I felt in my mind being on medication was admitting that you had a problem. That is not what being on medication is about. Being on medication, I honestly can't explain it. It's not what I thought it was at all. I just feel so much more myself. And that's so weird to say because I've had mental health problems for so long. Like genuinely since I was a teenager, I've had issues with my mental health. And I'm now nearly 26. And genuinely, I feel like myself again for like the first time in so long. It's like, and I explained this to my therapist, my problems are still there. I can still recognise that I have, you know, I still have these issues. I still miss my nan. I'm still struggling with my self-esteem and the way I view other people and the way I view myself. I'm still struggling with that. But I can think through it a lot clearer. Like, it doesn't feel like some heavy mess of emotion that I can't figure out. It feels like a problem I can see clearly, and yeah, it's still a difficult problem, and yeah, I'm still working on stuff like that, but I can just think through it so much clearer. Don't get me wrong, I did have to sort of trial and error a few different medications. Thankfully, the one I'm on now I really enjoy. Not enjoy, enjoy is the wrong word. I think it really helps. And it's the second one that I tried. So thankfully I didn't have to like go through trying a bunch of different medications. I only had to try 2. The first one really did not work for me. The first medication I was on, because essentially the medication I'm on is, when I went to the doctor, it was to get help with my low mood as well as my bad sleep. And originally the medication she put me on was to help with both. However, one of the main side effects of the medication she put me on was bad dreams. And I was already having bad dreams anyway. That was part of the reason why I couldn't sleep very well. But these tablets made my bad dreams so much worse. So I went back to my doctor. I said, look, these are not the ones. So what she ended up putting me on then was antihistamines, which is like to stop you sneezing at pollen and things like that. But she put me on antihistamines to help me sleep, and I just take regular over-the-counter antihistamines at night to help me sleep, and then also a different medication to help with my low mood and anxiety and stuff like that. And this has helped so much more. The antihistamines, completely honest, I find they work for 6 hours and then stop. So I will take them and I will fall asleep probably within about half an hour, but then I will wake up after 6 hours, bang on the dot, and I can usually get back to sleep, but it usually takes a couple of hours for me to be like fully asleep again. So if I take them at like midnight and I wake up at 6, it's then like 8 o'clock before I'm starting to feel tired again, when I need to wake up and start doing stuff for work. So they're not perfect, and I do find that sometimes if I'm having a really bad stressful night, which happens sometimes, they won't work at all. I can stay awake through them. I can take them and then just still lie there awake for hours on end. But they do help a lot, and like I said, the medication I'm on for my low mood and anxiety really helps. I do really like them a lot more than I liked my other ones. So yeah, medication has helped. I'm not saying that medication is for everyone, but if you are someone that is like how I was and was very against taking medication for whatever reason, doesn't have to be the same reason as mine, maybe speak to your doctor, get some more information about it, you know, discuss your concerns with your doctor, because they can help you and they can be there to support you. I used to have, I shouldn't say this, but I used to have such a negative opinion about doctors. I never used to go to the doctor because I always thought, oh well, they're not going to do anything. Turns out they can do stuff. And I actually really like the doctor that I've had working with me through this. I've spoken to 3 different doctors for various reasons. Sometimes one of them's just busy or not working or on holiday or whatever. But the one I speak to the most, I think she is amazing. She has been so helpful. I can't really talk while I'm doing this. I'll be back in a minute. Look, I know I mentioned it on my TikTok. I don't know if I mentioned it on here, but I took 2 weeks off work, which was actually really helpful, because after I sat my last set of exams, not the most recent one, but after I sat my last set of exams, I just needed some time to focus on things that weren't work, and sort of, I think mainly I took time off to sort of have time to come to terms with my nan dying, which I did. It's still not perfect. I still struggle with it a lot, but having that time off did really help. And I think I am starting to feel better. I'm obviously not great. There are obviously still days where I really struggle, but I think a mixture of therapy, medication, you know, the fact that I've had time now, like my nan died in May, it's now November. It's obviously still difficult, and I think Christmas and my birthday, if you don't know, my birthday's on the 30th of December, so it's right after Christmas. They're going to be so difficult for me because it's going to be my first year without my nan. Another family member that I'm very close to is also very sick at the moment, so that's going to be difficult. Thankfully, I go home on the 23rd to see my family. My boyfriend is coming to mine on the 27th or the 28th for my birthday, so he will be with me the majority of the time anyway, which will help a lot. Being at home with my granddad, I did go home and see him over his birthday at the end of October. It was fine. Obviously it wasn't the easiest because my nan isn't there, and that kind of sucked. But we got through it and it was absolutely fine. And I actually did tell my granddad that I took 2 weeks off work. I haven't told him that I'm on medication or that I'm doing therapy, but I have told him that I took time off work, and he handled that quite well. I do actually think, in a weird way, mine and my granddad's relationship has gotten better since my nan passed. We've always had a very good relationship. I was just always closer to my nan, which I think is relatively normal. But I think we sort of have like an understanding that it sucks for both of us, and that we both care about each other a lot. Like, I understand he's lost his wife. He understands that I've lost my nan, who's like the closest I've ever had to a parent. And I think it's just led to us, our relationship just being a lot more relaxed. I make it sound like me and my granddad had a terrible relationship before. We've never had a terrible relationship. Me and my granddad have always loved each other. But I just think we're both now very aware that neither of us really have many people left. Because he has his brother, my great uncle, but that's the family member that's pretty unwell at the minute. And I have my brother, who I love to bits and is great, but he has his own problems, like he has mental health problems as well, that sort of make it difficult for him to be there physically for somebody. Like, he doesn't turn up to a lot of like family stuff that we do for various reasons. He's been really good since my nan passed, actually. My brother has been really good at just, if I need to talk, he's there, which I greatly appreciate because I know it's difficult for him. My look is finished, by the way, so I'll just give you a quick summary of what I've been talking about. My family have been great recently. I don't think I'm going to tell my granddad about the therapy or the medication, just because I don't want to worry him. I don't want him to think that I'm not doing okay, because I realise that for him, I'm probably the only bit of good news he gets to really talk about, because I am doing well. I am here, I am working very hard, you know, I'm in a good relationship, I'm doing something with my life, I'm not ill. So I think I'd rather let him continue thinking that than to tell him that I'm not doing okay. Because realistically I am doing okay, I'm doing absolutely fine. I'm still working, I'm still getting up every day, I'm still filming. This is like, I'm back filming, which is a really big thing for me, because when I was in a really bad place, I didn't have the energy, I didn't have the motivation to film, I didn't want to film. And there's some days where I wake up and I plan to film a video and I'm like, you know what, I can't do it today. So I don't. I give myself the day off, I try again tomorrow, or I try again the following weekend, and that is absolutely fine. So I think the main thing is that I am doing better than I was a few months ago. I don't see myself taking another break from YouTube anytime soon. Like I said, it's November. I think after this video I only have 2 more videos to film, and then that's all my videos filmed for this year. And then I'll start looking towards next year. I think my last video of this year, I will talk through my plans for next year, which I think I did last year as well. So I will talk you through my plans for next year and what's going to change and what's going to stay the same on my channel and things like that. But yeah, I think the main point of this video is that I am doing better, which if you are struggling with your mental health at the minute, I understand that winter months are the worst for mental health. But if you are struggling, please stay on track, know that things will get better. You do have it in you to keep fighting. It's not going to be easy. Speak to a doctor if you need to, get medication if you need to, get therapy if you need to, spend time with your friends if you need to. You know, do whatever it takes to make yourself feel better. But there we go, it kind of feels weird finishing a YouTube video after, you know, such a heavy conversation. But like I said, I do think talking about mental health online is important. I realise I don't have the biggest following, but if this video helps just one person, I'm happy with that. But I do think it's important to talk about mental health and to get rid of the stigma around it. But I am doing better than I was a few months ago. Let's all keep my fingers crossed for my results on the 15th. I will let you know how I do. Hopefully that I've passed. Like I said, everything on my face will be listed in the description box down below. It's nothing new, no new products, just stuff you've all seen before. I am a fan of the look. If you like it, please give this video a big thumbs up. Drop me a comment down below, let me know how you're doing. I'm always interested to know how you guys are doing. I feel like we don't talk enough in the comments, but we really should. I want to get to know you guys. You guys get to know me, obviously. But let me know how you're doing down in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, if it's helped, if you just want to show some support, anything, give this video a thumbs up. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Like I said at the start of the video, my content is not normally like this. It's normally just makeup related, so if that sounds like your type of thing, then this is the place for you. But other than that, I really genuinely hope you are all doing okay and that you have a great day, an amazing week, and that you are enjoying the run up to Christmas or holidays or just the end of the year if you don't celebrate any of that. But other than that, I will let you go. Have a great day, an amazing week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.